Hey everybody, I am Priya Rao with the First Weekend Club, and I'm talking to Mr. Grant Baldwin, the director, filmmaker of this very cool, very cinematically gorgeous film called This Mountain Life, which is premiering at Hot Docs next week. So welcome, Grant.
Thanks for having me.
It's amazing to talk to you. I got to watch some of your film, and it really, really is just sumptuous and gorgeous. Now, for people who don't know what the film is about, maybe you can just give them a quick synopsis.
Sure, I guess the main storyline of this film, it follows 60-year-old Tanya Halleck and her daughter Bettina as they go out on a treacherous trek through the coast mountains of BC. So almost 3,000 kilometers
Right.
through the winter. It's about the same distance as going from Canada to Mexico, except for they're in winter mountains.
And 6 months, right?
They survived it, which is the
Wow.
amazing.
And so how long was the journey? It was 6 months, yeah.
6 months, yeah.
Incredible. And how did you get involved in the film?
That's a beautiful thing about documentary is that you can just stumble upon stories. So we were interviewing one of our characters who survived a 2-meter avalanche burial, and he started to tell us about his business partner as a photographer who's doing this trip with her mom, and I was like, this is amazing. We have to
Right.
follow these ladies.
Amazing. It's such a gorgeous film. I think my favorite shot, I believe it's also in the trailer, is just the aerial shot of the trees, and they go from sort of that beautiful snowiness, and they sort of fade into a different season.
But we really challenged ourselves to shoot everything and no stock footage, and also really push the limits of what we've seen before. I've been fortunate to work on the new Planet Earth series that's coming out, and I took a lot of the mentality, what goes into the production value of Planet Earth, and I tried to bring it into this human story. So hopefully the visuals draw people in, but really it's the people and the stories within the film that will, I think, stay with you.
Absolutely. I mean, thinking of this mother-daughter team and just watching a little bit of the film, it has so many hooks, really. It does have a hook for all those outdoor enthusiasts, those rock climbers and sort of adventurous who love to do crazy things. I would never even imagine going on a 3-week hike in the middle of winter in this kind of climate. So it's really, and then the mother-daughter story is also really, of course, the core of the story, but it's so amazing that to find a mother and daughter, and a mother who's, as you said, 60 years old when she did this.
Yeah.
Like, what a coup for you to jump onto that story.
Yeah, it was. A funny thing happened when I met up with them on the second time I met them on the trip. I'd only just arrived via helicopter with all of the comforts that I brought with me, and they'd been in the mountains for 2 months already. And as soon as I met them, you'd think they would be weathered and tired and asking maybe what we brought for them. But first thing Tanya said was like, "Oh, Grant, your lips look chapped. Have some of my homemade lip balm I've been carrying with me."
Wow.
So I learned so much from them. It was very hard, just the days that I spent with them, trying to keep up with them. But they were very helpful. They actually came back and helped lug some camera gear sometimes.
Oh my God. Well, I would love, first of all, to get some of that homemade chapstick, because throughout the winters, even in Toronto, I can't seem to find a good one. And if she lasted 6 months with her homemade stuff, I think she's got a great business plan there. But so you touched upon the fact that you've been working on the new Planet Earth project, which you can absolutely see some of the influences just in terms of the cinematic scope that you are able to get the landscapes in, and how beautiful the earth looks. It doesn't really need a lot of help in that sense, but the fact of just how you did the camera work, and we see some of you in the plane here and there, but how challenging was that for you to film this?
It was, so many things could have gone wrong, and somehow everything that we set out to do we ended up capturing, which is totally didn't make any sense because there's so many variables. We did get stuck for a couple of days on a glacier because we couldn't get out, but for the most part, it was just really uncomfortable. So cameras would freeze, so I'd have to spoon with them in my tent to get them to work so we could get footage. It was a lot of just, technology doesn't really want to work out there, and so it's just sort of getting it to work to get these shots. And it was just from the get-go, we wanted it to look right and do these stories credit that they deserved.
And so let's talk a little bit about the stories, because of course we have the mother-daughter team, but you met some really interesting folks along the way. Did you have a favorite?
No, everyone kind of. What's interesting is that there's quite a few different stories. It's not just a mountain film about adrenaline junkies and sports. There's artists and people that are out there to live off the grid, and there's even religious reasons some people go out there. So we followed a monastery and some amazing nuns that like open the doors. They're actually silent nuns, but they did speak on camera for us, which was really nice. Artists as well, Bernhard and Mary, they've been living off the grid for 50 years.
Amazing.
And just to let them bring us into their world and just being really honest and open with us, it was incredible. And to reach Bernhard, we literally had to write a letter to a post office box, and he mailed us back a hand-drawn map of how to find him.
Wow.
And it's like this technology age we live in.
Right.
Most of the people that we found was through word of mouth and traditional ways.
Now, I don't want to have any spoilers, of course, for people who are going to go watch the film, but you know, this mother-daughter team taking 6 months worth of food out into the wilderness. Were there any moments where it was really scary?
Yeah, so they actually had food drops along the way. So they would carry, maybe a week's worth of food, and then the idea would be they would get a box that had been thrown out of a plane, and they would find it based on an agreed location that would have been thrown out the plane. So right away, there.
First of all, come on now. Does that box fall where?
They had a Bluetooth beacon in the boxes, but
okay.
Yeah, things went sideways with that plan. But it was, they had to do it within their financial means. They didn't have the budget to get people to fly with helicopters everywhere for food. So yeah, things went sideways for them, and not all of it's in the movie. A lot of stuff happened to them, and avalanche happened to them, and we couldn't cover it all because we couldn't be there at the time. But there's going to be a book, I'm sure.
I bet. Maybe a behind the scenes too. Yeah. Well, for everybody like myself who wants to see this on the big screen, because really watching it a screener on the laptop does not do it justice, and so I just watched a little bit. Please let us know when and where it's screening during Hot Docs.
Yeah, so we have 3 screenings at Hot Docs. April 30th will be TIFF Lightbox 1 at 6:15, and that's the premiere. And then May 2nd at 3:30 at Bader Theatre, and then May 4th at the Scotiabank 3 at 11:45 a.m.
Amazing. Well, congratulations. I'm not surprised that you got in. This film is beautiful, and it looks like a real nail biter, shall we say. So I'm excited for everybody to see it. Everyone, you can visit hotdocs.ca for more information on the film, the filmmakers, and all the cast of interesting characters that are in this film. And we look forward to hearing all about this film after the fact when it comes to theaters.
Thanks.
Thanks so much, Grant.